Hey guys, hope everyone's doing well. Today I've got an interesting topic, or I think it's interesting, because we're talking about finding good deals in the custom knife market. So this video is going to be geared towards, someone who's already collecting custom knives and is looking for, another very good knife, something you might even want to carry and use, or someone who's collecting higher end production knives and not so much on the custom world because you don't know the quality or you don't know the maker, etc. So I just wanted to make this video just kind of to walk through that and how I found a really good deal on a superb knife. So just to start off, I've been collecting for many years, over 5 years, and I've noticed quite a few changes in the trends of the custom knife makers or the popularity of custom knife makers. So 5 years ago, the custom knife market was very hot. So much so that there are custom knife shows where multiple makers would make, you know, over 5 digits in auction builds. And fast forward to today, a lot of those makers who are well known have kind of fallen off in favor, because a lot of them aren't very good with social media. They don't upload. I guess they don't upload as often. There are also a lot of newer makers making a name for themselves, and they do a great service to their community, and they do great service to their fans. But I think that overall, there's starting to be a mix between like very good high-end customs being available at more affordable prices. And I think if you look very closely, you would be able to find something that is so good. So just to start off, I have this Dustin Turpin as an example. So this one I found on the secondary market. Dustin himself is a maker who's not popular. In fact, he's taken a lot of people's money, including mine, and he hasn't given anything back. And he's basically disappeared. So a lot of people hate him, and I don't want to be promoting him either, because of that. But I just want to use this piece as an example of finding good deals on the market, because even though the maker himself is a really, not a professional businessman, the quality of his knives are really up there. And just take a look at this one. So this is the Turpin Insight I found, and it's secondhand, and it's got a few scratches, but whatever. I saw it on the website, for like 600 something, and then I negotiated down to like 400 something bucks, which is the same price as you would get for a lot of Riyadh knives, production knives, Chris Reeves, or even something like Hinderers, cheaper than those. And this is a custom knife with a lot more work and finishing. So just to start off, check out this hand rub. This is some of the nicest hand rubs. It's very clean. The lines are crisp. You can see that perfectly straight on both sides, and it's a lovely grind. And I think this one I had someone sharpen it, and it's just extraordinarily sharp. Superb, very lovely hollow grind. Check out the plunge grind, super nice. The action, extremely smooth. And look at the milling. Custom pivot. There's nice milling and anodization on a surface. and then there's milling on the sides. It's like a triplane style build. Liner lock. Look at that. Check the inlays and how cool that is. And even the backspace there. He anodized it gold, and it's also geared, and super nicely done. I mean, like, the quality is there 100%. The clip is amazing. It works really well. So this I use, this is my carry piece. A lot of the times it's like very ergonomic, no hot spots, super solid. And I encourage those guys who collect a lot of like the Chinese productions. A lot of them feel the same because I tried many of them, and the feeling is the same. So you should try something like this if you can find it. A custom Turpin, and it's not an old build either. Maybe like 2018 or something, 2019, and it's a way better knife for the same price or even cheaper than a lot of the production knives. So this is just one example of a deal that I found and then turned into like a user, yeah. So I got a list of a few other makers that I noticed, and maybe I'll discuss a little bit about them. So the first one is Justus Knives, Justus. So he's a Russian maker. And if you go look at his Instagram, a lot of his builds are really crazy. And as of, I think yesterday night, I saw him build one knife where it's really artistic. It's like there's like wings looking thing, which I thought, whoa, that's a really nice milling pattern. But it turns out you can lift up the wings on both sides. Kind of crazy. That's like an art knife level thing, but it's a it's a tactical. It looks like this with the millings and everything in it. It's not thick, it's like a regular thickness, and then it does something like that. That's crazy. But he also has a lot of more. I don't want to say plain because all of his knives are very, very unique. If you just go check out his Instagram and you'll see what I'm talking about. It looks like a very, very nice mill pattern everywhere. But if you ask him directly and you're able to get on his books, the direct prices are like less than 2,000. It's like maybe 1,500, which I feel like a lot of people at that price buy other brands, which are more, I guess, household names, whether it's like Shirgorov, Koenig, etc., Roosevelt. But I don't think those pieces have nearly as much work as the one from Justus Knives, and his knives are incredible. They look incredible. They have a lot more work. They function really well. The action is really good. And I mean, it's just crazy. Another name I want to mention is Michael Smith. This is another example of a maker who has not been on social media. No one except the really old school guys know him, or someone like me who looks a lot into knives know him. But his work is extremely, extremely good. So if you never heard of Michael Smith, you can learn him a little bit about him now. He has an Instagram page as well. His knives, you can see going on the secondary market, again under 2,000, sometimes even like 1,200 or something. But the work that he's put in it is way out of this level, or price range. So you can imagine a little bit of a history on Michael Smith. I think he's been making knives for over 20, maybe even 30 years. I'm sure a lot of you who's watching my channel has heard of Stan Wilson, Frank Fisher, Todd Fisher, etc. Stan Wilson today is known as, one of the most famous tactical knife makers, making, really cool knives, the NFF, etc. But before Stan started making knives, he used to sit and watch Michael Smith makes his knives. And you know what? The hidden hardware that Todd Fisher is known really well for, Michael Smith is also, does that. And the bills that I am telling you about, 1,200, it's got like a beautiful hand rub. Even it's like much more shiny than this one. It's like very lovely high polish, super nice like finish and crisp lines as well, with dual bolsters, Timascus, maybe carbon fiber inlay, fully hidden hardware for 1,002 or 1,004. And I feel like the mechanics is also excellent. I've also had one before, and the mechanics is just excellent, super smooth, fires out really well, and no one knows about it. So I feel like at this time it's just a really good time. If you do your research, that the custom knife that you're looking at is from a reputable maker. Or you can even ask me, because I've tried plenty of pieces, so I do know like which ones, I can tell which ones are good or not good. A lot of the times, not all the time, but yeah, I mean, I'll just throw a few names out there again for knives which look very good and are available at very reasonable prices. One guy called AU Custom Knives, he's the student of Justus Knives I mentioned earlier. He's making mother of pearl inlays everywhere. The quality is super great, and it's like $800. I'm not even, like, when you compare that level of work to some of the things that is available in the US market, or the Chinese custom or production knives, which are like Damascus and Damasteel, those ones are like priced pretty high, and as high as this custom knife. So I just feel like, if it might be better to try considering buying one of these guys' knives, because they're just really well known. And for, I guess, collectors who are a little bit more affluent and used to the market, I think you already know that a lot of custom, like the names such as Gary McGinnis, Tom Mayo, Lee Williams, a lot of those guys' prices have started to drop quite a lot. And like Lee Williams has a production kickstop, but I tried those as well. It's not nearly the same feeling as the custom one. And you can find a few websites where you can negotiate under 2,000 as well, like maybe 1,004, 1,200 for a new, or maybe like very slightly used kickstop piece or McGinnis piece, which those knives are just amazing. So yeah, there's that. I mean, in the state of the custom knife world today, there's a lot of hidden deals, and if you know where to look for it, you can get something as good as this one. I don't know if you're gonna find something like this for $450 again, but it's just way better. All right, thank you for watching.